I forgot to put up the curtains. Forgot to put up the curtains. Can you believe that I forgot to put the curtains up?
I can. Well, and we may have remembered, but we got sidetracked.
True, we did. We did. Welcome everybody watching for watching the 802 Scoop weekly update here in the Inside Scoop Studios. I can't get it right. You know what? I just give up.
I wrote it down for you and everything.
Well, in my defense, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm still pulling up the email.
I'm not surprised
You're not surprised?
that you didn't read it yet. No.
Well, I just barely got it. How you doing, Raylene?
Lord, I'm doing good.
You doing well?
Yeah. I sent it to
complain?
you a long time ago.
You did. You did. I'm sorry.
my
Welcome to the
defense.
802 Scoop live from the Inside Scoop studio located right here on Main Street, Barrie, Vermont.
That's right.
Good evening, Glenn. How are you doing this evening?
Glenn, he's been missing us. Well, he
has?
misses me.
You misses...
He didn't say he missed you.
That hurts, Glenn. That really hurts. So, how you doing, Raylene?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty
I'm
good?
all right. It's been a crazy week, a rough week. We've got a lot going on in the city, and a lot going on in regards to overdoses and people I know and care about that are overdosing and dying, and it's a lot to digest, and it's a lot to process for sure. It's tough, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I guess I can just talk about it now. We might as well. But there is a new drug that has hit the scene, and it is actually way more potent, actually 40 times more potent than fentanyl, and 800 times more potent than morphine. And it is being mixed with drugs that are being sold, cocaine, heroin, all kinds of things, but it is being mixed with other drugs. It's called nitazene, and it can't be detected in urinalysis, so people are using, and it's going undetected, and because of its potency, I mean, it's just more scary now than it's ever been. And it's super cheap, and you know, they believe that it's being brought over here from Vienna, Austria, and that's where it's originated from. And we know that we have a lot coming in from Venezuela right now, and yeah, it's here. It's frightening. It's killing people, just as still fentanyl and xylazine as well. And it has just caused for a lot of stress and heartache and worry for it's made the week really tough. Yeah.
It's too bad.
We've lost a few people in just a very short time, just a couple of weeks.
I'll make my comment that I want to make about that. If you're selling drugs, should be manslaughter.
I agree, especially when you are selling them as one thing and lacing them and knowing that you're adding a drug to it that is lethal. That's even premeditated as far as I'm concerned. So yeah. It's murder. Yeah. That's what it is.
I would agree with that.
And no one's ever going to change my mind on that.
Well, I wouldn't want to, because you're right.
For sure. So, not the best way to start things off. I mean, it's kind of dreary. I'm sorry, but it is. I mean, you asked how I was, and that's really, you know, this is where things are at for me. And I always tell you all like it is. And, you know, not that I worry for my son all the time, and now I worry even more. And I worry for everybody's sons. I really do. So.
I know.
Yeah.
more. I don't know where we go from there.
Well, we can. How about we just go right
Just go
into
right into
the local news and talk about
Harwood.
another headline, huh?
Harwood.
Oh, we can talk about that first. Do you want to talk about that first?
Of course, I want to talk about Harwood.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's talk about that
yeah,
first.
absolutely. So Harwood implements a no cell phone policy, which that's pretty phenomenal. I didn't know that. Look, another school saying no to cell phones,
Yeah.
and it's something that we certainly should have a big conversation about at the BUUSD.
Yeah.
My opinion, you know.
The expense of it and the
Oh, they're getting
they
Yonder.
got the pouches.
They got the
so they
Yonder.
got the pouches, and it cost $21,000 for them to get those pouches, and so that was a federal assistance money that they used to buy those. But you know, a lot of people are that makes a lot of people squirm that they spent that money on those. In the school board, a lot of members want to have further discussion about just making it a policy, and maybe not, you know, paying so much money out, but having an overall policy. And they would like to see all schools do it.
Yeah, I know that Andrew Perchlik is right behind the no cell phone policies, which maybe we had a conversation. He won't come on the Berry Beat. I told him, you know, because of the fact that I understand the fact that, you know, I'm running for state rep, but certainly after the elections, we'll have to get him to come on to talk about
Most definitely.
that cell phone policy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know that. So for folks that don't know what the Yonder pouch is, it's just a pouch that you can't break open. You snap it, and each room has an unsnapper that you can, in an emergency, unsnap the phone and you can get into the pouch, but it means that you're not looking at it, and hopefully, you know, the kids are turning them off so we're not hearing them as well.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's you know, I'm a big fan of children not having screen time. The fact is it caused cognitive delay. Period. Full stop. End of story.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't need that. We don't need cognitive delay in our society.
No.
But yeah,
do
no,
not.
I think that. I mean, I understand the concern about the $21,000, but I think it's going to be well worth it, and what they make up in
Well, and if our kids are
behavioral
paying attention, right, and actually getting a better education and not paying attention to their phone and not using it for answers on a test, they're actually having to use their brain and show us what it is that they're actually doing. Because let's face it, how hard is it to Google something if you don't know, come up with an answer and make it your own? You know, it will be interesting to see how it changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I was in school, we had to bring calculators separate. And we even had a one of those special calculators, the really expensive ones for math. I forget what they were called. A Tech something or a TC something. I don't remember. My kids
Texas
needed to have one.
Instruments.
No, that was the actual type of. It was a TC9 or something. That it was a specific kind of calculator that we needed to get when I was in school, and then my kids also had to have those as well for math, and that's what we had. And we certainly weren't allowed to use them for testing and things, you know.
Yeah.
Unless we still had to show our work, and I'm not sure kids know how to do that anymore.
Well, they use the Lattice Works,
Yeah.
which I think you should go back to counting your toes and your fingers.
Yeah. Something. Yeah. So we shall see how that turns out, though, and I will be curious to see how many schools go for it. And as we talked just a couple of weeks ago, some people, you know, they worry for safety reasons, school shootings and things like that going on. And you and I both agreed that it's a safety issue. You could give up your hiding spot if your phone were to ring or vibrate.
Yep.
It causes more chaos with having people fled to the school. It causes miscommunication because you have several different stories from different people in different classrooms and their perception of what's happening. And you could actually put yourself in more danger. So,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
But next on the list is a heated meeting. Lawmakers hear about working conditions at Vermont prisons. We are destroying those people, a union representative told lawmakers, speaking about the conditions correction officers endure. We are destroying their lives, we are destroying their families, and we are destroying their marriages. And I wholeheartedly 100% agree and can understand that statement as somebody that was there. And literally, for all the money in the world, I would not take that job. The torment that they go through and the lies and manipulation and because of jealousy amongst inmates and one woman might think that a male officer was nicer to another woman than he was to her, and it's instant they must be screwing around, and then that poor officer needs to go on under investigation, leave without pay, and then how do you explain that to your wife, and does your wife believe you? And the entire thing is horrible. And really, I think they should be able to have body cams. I think that a really good investment in people can say what they want about officers, correctional officers, but there are bad people everywhere you go. Doctors, lawyers, priests, it doesn't matter. There are bad people everywhere. And so bad things happen, and bad things have happened in crimes committed by correctional officers, but it's certainly not the majority. And they always are willing to give what they get more often than not. Is if you respect them, they respect you. And that statement, I wholeheartedly, I don't doubt that for one bit. And I don't doubt that. I know that they work long, ridiculous hours, just like a nurse does or an LNA does, double shifts, triple shifts, and what they endure for what they're paid. No, not even close to worth it. And I'm surprised that it's taken so long to have this come before lawmakers and this be a problem. I'm really shocked. I mean, I haven't been there for 22 years. So I'm really shocked that it's taken this long to have this much of an uproar about it. Body cams, they should have them.
I like body cams.
Well, and I just think
we've
for
had
their
that
own
conversation
protection.
about body cams.
Yeah, for their own protection, and sure, for the protection of the people in prison as well. Sure, because there are those bad apples, just like in everything else. But they should have them, and as a protection for themselves, for sure. Yeah. Go ahead. You take the next one.
Do you want me to take the next one?
Yes.
Oh, well, actually, I'm going to deviate from your handy little list there.
You go right ahead.
I'm going to ask you the question, Raylene. When you were younger, much younger, where did you put your pager?
My pager?
Yeah. Did you have a pager?
I did have a pager.
Where'd you put it?
Most often it was connected to the strap of my pocketbook. Almost always.
Did you ever strap it to your pants?
I don't know that I strapped it to them. I might have hooked it on my pocket.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would have strapped it.
I have some.
Like through belt loop, you mean?
Yeah, whatever on your pants. It's all good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did that?
I'm sure I did it on my
You know what
on
happened?
my pocket or something. What happened?
A couple people strapped their pager onto their pants. No more children.
No way.
Yes, Israel. So Israel was, and I'm sure I'll get some hate for this, but I don't really care. A dead terrorist isn't a bad thing. So,
No, a dead terrorist are never bad things.
yeah, Israel. They I guess they they made these pagers, and they made them so that they would blow up, and they were able to get them to terrorists and I think it was Hezbollah, and yeah, they did some sort of signal, gone. Like there was a bunch of them that died from it. I'm laughing about terrorists dying, for the record. I did hear that there was a casualty, but out of how many pagers they exploded on terrorists, I mean, that's pretty. It's like,
Well, it's pretty ingenious, really.
and I think they did it. It was not just pagers. It was, yeah, Glenn. I know you're going to disagree with me on this, so that's okay. Hezbollah is not a good thing. I'm pro Israel, so but that's
As
okay.
am I.
But yeah, no, I don't think they were indiscriminately. They were very pinpointed Israeli attacks on the Hezbollah folks, and yeah, the pagers blew up and took a couple of people out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how long before Jeff Dunham does a joke about that.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking about making a reel as this conversation goes through.
Oh my good Lord. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Yes, the kids part I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
no doubt about that.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
the kids part needs to, is yeah.
it's. I think they lobbed a rocket into a field. Didn't they lob a rocket into a field, and that's the reason why they did this?
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't pay
No,
attention
yeah.
to it anymore, only because that kind of stuff, the rape and murder of women and children, the rape of children, that sort of stuff, and all of that was occurring when it all first started, and it's probably still happening. I couldn't do it. It's not something that I can
Yeah.
mentally handle dealing with on a daily. So I really just I don't pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Truthfully.
I know that I'm not hurt about that with the pagers blowing up terrorists, and also their walkie-talkies too. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine being a terrorist?
10-4. Psh,
I know. Like, do I check my pager?
nope. Don't touch it.
And you know how people have phantom.
Well, my ex-husband was probably trying to do that for many, many, many years because I used to have. That's why I had a pager. I used to have to wear a pager, so that if I was paged, I called immediately. And you know, it was like a leash, is what it was, and because we didn't have cell phones then, so I had a pager.
Well, in this case, the leash was unleashed.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he was trying to figure that out, and I just didn't know about it or something.
Well, hopefully,
I don't know.
hopefully, he wasn't doing any of that. But it was pretty interesting. I mean, what they did was I guess they laced the batteries and then they charged the batteries up to make them go really hot, and they all went off at the same time.
Wow.
I don't know how many civilians, if any, were. I don't know the number of that, but
Right. We hope not.
that-
And the
yeah.
loss of civilian life, no matter what, is
correct.
horrible.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. But
Absolutely agree with that.
a dead terrorist, I'm just
Yeah. Is
not upset about that.
yeah. Ahmed would agree. Yeah. So this story is a report from America Corps member Carly Berlin. And the report is from VT Digger, and it's in regards to the hundreds of unhoused people in Vermont that will lose their motel vouchers. Municipal leaders are sending a loud and clear message to all branches of state government: take charge of the worsening homeless crisis now. And, you know, we know what's been going on here. We know that we've seen an uptick in vandalism and crime, and
It's a huge problem.
it is a huge problem. Just the other day, we sat at the auditorium and we watched a little store pop up in the
Yeah.
back parking lot, and
Little
broad
store,
daylight.
Little store.
Right.
Little
Broad
store. Was
daylight.
she, for the record, when she says little store,
People know what I mean.
She's
A
a little
drug-
little
a
drug deal
drug
going
dealing
down. Well,
going
not
down.
everybody
In a car.
knows the
Yeah, in a car, pulls up and sets up shop in the back parking lot, right in
While
broad daylight.
everybody is
And
voting.
we have people
Lots of people
voting. We have
children.
people there for FEMA assistance. We have people there donating blood for the Red Cross. I mean, it was a full busy day, and this is, what's going on in the back parking lot in the right corner.
No shame whatsoever.
Nope, none whatsoever. And it's going on in the park, and there's vandalism. There are community members that are frightened to volunteer anymore at any of the churches. They're being accosted and harassed. In the middle of the night, actually happened just out here this past weekend, where it was thought to be a bear that maybe had gotten into the dumpster and rummaged through all the food and left an absolute disaster. And video footage shows that it was actually 4 individuals that did that, they rifled through the bags, they took things away, but they also sat there and ate and then just left everything behind. And that's happening. And a lot of people up and down the streets in the night, in the middle of the night, and looking and it's frightening.
Tremont. I mean, there
Tremont,
was a
yeah.
problem with
On
on Tremont
Tremont.
Street. Tremont. I mean, it's this. When I think of like sketchy places, Tremont is not one of them. It's like my neighborhood. I don't expect that kind of stuff in my neighborhood.
No.
And
it
I
doesn't
think,
matter what neighborhood.
No,
right
it doesn't.
now.
It doesn't matter what neighborhood it is. We shouldn't have to expect it. It's a quality of life issue.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Glenn. There was a somebody had gone on someone's porch and grabbed a bag of stuff. It's happening all over.
And another instance was the police had to be called because of a fight where somebody was a man was assaulting a woman, and another one was a call on Tremont Street for just people walking up and down the street being super loud in the middle of the night. And
quality
you know,
quality of life.
quality of life is right.
And not to mention, which you haven't said yet, which I'm assuming you're planning on saying. Okay, well, I'll let you say.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the drugs, the incoming drugs, and then the influx of people that are coming from churches from Texas and Tennessee and other states by bus. And when I say bus, I'm not talking huge bus, 30, 50 people. I'm talking, the buses, 10, 15 people a pop. But when you are saying that 3 or 4 of them have recently come and left people in the center of the city in the middle of the night, you're still talking 30, 40 more people than what we already had, and they have absolutely no services. And I know this to be so 100%, and I will be having people on over the next week and a half, actually, to discuss this, because I've spoke with people like Good Sam's and the shelters, the incoming shelters, the intake shelters, and I've spoken with law enforcement, and I know it's happening for a fact. It is happening. And there is not services for we were already at our max, our cap. It was there, nothing. We could not possibly do anymore. And here we are. You've got 30 to 50 people with severe mental health issues, with addiction, substance use disorder, that have been career criminals that have, literally committed some pretty heinous crimes in other states. And what I learned through the some connections through Good Sam's and the intake houses is that a lot of states, they will give you services for a certain number of days, and it's anywhere between 80 and 90 days. And when you've reached those days, they're done. They do nothing more for you. And so if you get all of your 90 days all at once, that's up to you. If you get it in 15-day increments, whatever. But when you reach that cap, you reach that cap and they're done, period. And so they throw them out into the street. And the churches have somehow learned that this is the place to bring them. And not just Barrie. I mean, in Vermont in general, other towns and cities are getting these same drops as we are. Um, just have not gotten as many, and not all communities have been as accepting as Barrie is. And because of that, people that have been dropped in other locations, such as Johnson and Morrisville, um, those people have come here as well. And like I said, I know this to be factual. And there are people willing to come in here and say that this is what's happening. And with that happening is what we see. We see the uptick in crime. We see the people that are sleeping in City Hall Park and wherever they want to, and getting in dumpsters. And we're seeing more overdosing. We're seeing more people walk around the city accosting people, asking
Yeah.
for money. Just the other night, there was a gentleman parked in front of Asian Gourmet, and a woman jumped in his car and refused to get out until he brought her to where she wanted to go. I can't even imagine how horrifying that must have been. And I mean, what do you do? Get out of your car yourself, shut it off, and take your keys and just get out of your car? What do you do? I don't even know. But it's disgusting that this is all happening, and we have to figure. I'm sympathetic. I do have a heart. I give all the time. I do as much as I can, as I know many do. And we've always been known as a community that gives and that rallies. But we can only give so much. We're barely surviving ourselves.
Yeah. I'll just say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I understand that the voucher program was in good intentions, but there's consequences to offering free handouts. And now other communities are like, well, Vermont will put people up.
Yeah.
So
And we're inundated.
we
with
are.
it.
We don't have the
inundated
federal
with it.
funds coming down anymore. And unfortunately, what's going to end up happening, and what has to happen, is just like
It has to end.
it has to end, which means there's going to be pain involved. We're going to have the pain of ending that program until people that are not in our. I mean, I'm not
The people
nearly
from
as
Texas need to go back home. is
Correct.
What I feel.
Yes.
I am all for taking care of the people
Exactly.
that are here,
Exactly.
that have lived here, and that need us.
100%
If they need
agree.
us and they need a hand up and they need help to get on their feet, and
Yep.
we have a lot of people that are homeless because of loss of jobs,
none of our policies
COVID,
do that.
flooding, any of that. We have a lot of people that it can all happen in a moment's time to anybody, to any one of us. Our whole life could go to hell. When my mom had cancer, it was brain cancer. It was severe. She had a lot of other medical stuff going on at the same time. Thank God my dad had amazing insurance through the military. He was a retired vet, and he had amazing insurance that covered everything she needed. Another friend of ours, same scenario, same situation. His wife got sick. They lost their home. They lost everything, just trying to keep her alive. And she died, and he was homeless. I'll give him a room any day. Whatever he needs to help him get his life and his self back together because of the devastation, in a heartbeat. We none of us ever know, but the people from Texas can go home, and Tennessee and Florida and wherever else they came from. We can't
We
do
can't
it.
afford it. We can't afford it anymore. Absolutely not.
No.
And it's going to take, and when I say we can't just afford, I mean, we could afford it if we increase our taxes in the state of Vermont to higher levels than what we currently
Exactly.
are.
And we can't do
Increase,
that.
DMVs even more than 20%. Well, we could do it. We could do it, and then more people will be homeless because they can't afford
and more
to be
people
here.
will leave here, and
Right.
and it will be exactly just
Might
that.
fix the housing
we're
price
quickly
problem.
turning into a little Burlington, though.
Oh,
I feel like
absolutely.
and that frightens me too, to know that
Yep.
we don't have a full law enforcement, we
Yep.
don't have a full crew down there, and we don't because we don't have the budget for it. Well, then we damn well shouldn't have the budget to house 30 to 50 people that,
Yeah.
or take care of 30 to 50
Exact-
people
you know-
that came here from another state. Give me a police department first, thank you.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. Yes.
You know?
A police
No way.
department first, 100%.
Yeah, give me a police department. Give them support. We're asking. They agreed, and Chief Bill and Nicholas and Mayor Lozon. They said we're going to step things up. We recognize that there is a problem, and with homelessness. Actually, they had to correct their way of saying it all, but I mean, a spade is a spade. That's what it is, and so. That we're going to step it up. We're going to do foot patrols. We're going to do all that. And I am grateful that our officers are willing to do that. But at what expense for them is what I want to know. If I'm going to do foot patrol, I want to know that if I call for backup, it can be there. And that the only two other officers on duty aren't doing something else. And they can't come to
Well, the
help
foot
me
patrol
for-
is all in
for
overtime.
backup. Right.
It's all
but
overtime.
But they should
It's-
still know they can get backup if they need it.
Yeah.
And that the only other two officers that might be on duty at the time because of the way things are can't get to them. They don't want that should never happen. We should be able to have a full crew.
I agree. It's tough though. I mean, it takes like a year to train officers, and that's if they make it through the course.
And we don't pay them very much here.
Yeah.
And so it's not very appealing. It's not very appealing. And it
I will say that our
sucks.
community does support our police officers, unlike some
yes.
communities.
Yes. Thank God.
We never had any conversations about defunding our police here, which was very
but
surprising
I'm
to
guessing our
me.
community would be on the same page. I'm guessing that our community
Oh,
would say,
yeah.
staff our police department. We're done
Yeah.
housing these people. We want a staffed police department. We want them to have what they need.
Good evening, Clayton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. Yeah, it's it's just insane. I know I'll get in all kinds of trouble for saying all that, I'm sure, but it's just at the
cares?
point where I just don't, it is, I do care. That's the problem, is that I
Right.
do care. It's not at all that I don't care. I actually do care. I care a lot, and that's what's so frustrating about it. It pisses me off that this is where we're at with things, and that we are seeing this. I wouldn't have ever thought twice about, walking out to my car afterwards. And where were we the other night? And I gave you hell because you were walking to your Jeep and I was walking to my car, and I said,
It was up at the auditorium.
auditorium. I said, like, you can't go to your truck until you know I'm in my car.
Yeah, but let's just be honest, Raylene. Let's just think about this just for a
I would
minute.
literally kick somebody's
You
ass.
would-
I'm just telling you right now.
On a scale of 1 to 10, folks that are watching, right? Could I take Raylene or could Raylene take me?
I could totally kick your ass.
I know.
Just yesterday, I kicked a door in.
Oh my goodness, you
know what?
did?
I mean, it is.
I'm
You
too
do what you have to
squishy.
do.
I'm
know.
too squishy. I'm not. I would lose that fight.
Yeah, I know. I don't let people mess with me ever. I just don't.
Glenn says, "Dude."
I did
You're
that
done.
once for a really
Oh, he
long
said, "No,
time.
you're done, dude."
Yeah, I did that once for a really long time, and no,
Yeah.
sorry, no.
Yeah.
Love to all, but unless you piss me off.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I won't fight with Raylene. I know better.
yeah. But usually I don't even have to get. It's just my mouth and my tone and my look, is enough.
It's got an F off look
Yeah,
or FAFO
I guess.
kind of look.
I don't know. But anyways, let's go on to something good. Like Governor Phil Scott has proclaimed today as Noah Kahan's Busy Head Project Day in Vermont. And Noah Kahan is actually here doing a huge concert at the expo tonight, Champlain Valley Expo. I know several, including my guest tomorrow for It's No Secret. Dottie Moffat is there. And Noah is a Vermonter. He is a Vermonter who struggles with mental health, and has dedicated in donating all of the money from tonight's concert to mental health programs in the state of Vermont. And so he's a really cool guy. If you don't know who he is, please look him up, read a little bit about him, read a bit, about his life, and it's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. So
Nice.
cool. A lot of people I know. Rosie from Happy Good Day is there. She actually had VIP seats and was totally beside herself that she was going to go see Noah Kahn tonight. So I hope she's having an amazing time. And have you ever heard him? No? No, you should check it out.
Was it 80s music or 90s music?
Oh, God, no. It's like right now, but
Right.
it's kind of like
so that's the problem, though. Like, if it's not 80s or 90s.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys
that
could
was
hear
not
that.
Noah Kahn.
That was.
Singing
Yeah, there was
something
somebody
about
singing.
Hail to Mexico or
That's
something.
too bad we didn't have the camera outside. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, Hail to Mexico. Okay.
Hail to Mexico.
Yeah. So anyways, that's super cool. If you don't know who he is, please look him up and check it out because it's pretty cool.
I have to say here, Clayton and Barb say you would kick my butt.
Oh, there's no question. There's just no question. Yeah,
Oh well.
I know.
I see.
And
What's next.
it's really, I shouldn't laugh about it really because it's not something to be proud of, but it is.
Well, you're scrappy.
It is.
It is something to
It
be-
is because I don't take shit from people, and if somebody was, I would at least die trying.
See,
First of all,
I would disagree with you. I think it is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
That kind of attitude is that's the kind of attitude women should have.
yeah,
I like it.
you're damn straight. You're damn straight. You know?
That's called feminism.
Yeah.
Real.
Real. Yeah, real. So, what do you want to do next? You want to talk about MAP?
Not really.
Well, we're going to. We're going to talk about MAP, and we're going to talk about the fact that it is not a sexual orientation or a pronoun. It's a fucking acronym for sick people that are sick in the head is what it is. But I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't understand how anybody can condone this, how anybody can accept it, how anybody can. But let's not confuse this at all because it is not a pronoun. Being MAP is not an excuse. It's not, you saying it's a pronoun is trying to deflect from yourself and is shitting on the gay community. Period. It's an acronym. And I know my acronym is not the same as what it is, but mine is that you're a piece of shit. Yeah, that's what mine is.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, when you first sent that to me, I was like, "This ain't real."
I know.
But
You said to me, "Are you sure?"
you want to say anything about
yeah, are you
this?
sure? Because I'm not so sure that could possibly be true. And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, I'm sure. And how it all came about, and I'm trying to find the little thing that I have here that tells, I have it, the picture right here. So MAP is a minor attracted persons. That's what MAP is, an acronym for the creep. Blue represents little boys, pink represents little girls, yellow represents attracted to both, and white represents their innocence. Those are the colors of their flag or their, yeah. And we all hoped it wasn't true. I listened to the Zoom last night. I've read all the comments. This afternoon, the owner of the campground also made another statement on social media. She did another apology. But when she did so, she says she's apologizing for letting this myth be who has an actual real name, Jonathan something, but this Mythby, to be in her campground and be around children, and she knew that he was, um, pedophilia. I mean, she knew all about that in the way he was, and that he was supposed MAP, and she allowed it. She spoke out about him being her best friend, and they were in business together in Montpelier as well. Rabble Rouser or something like that it was called. I don't even know. Apparently they did like CBD chocolates and different things. I didn't know a lot about that place, but she certainly the watching it all and saying, well, if she didn't have an event scheduled because she didn't have a permit for an event. Well, you can chuck your campground full of people and just say, I rented all my sites. You don't have to say you're having an event, but the fact is that there was a flyer. Her name and her campground were attached to this flyer, and one of the campers got a hold of this flyer and blew the whistle. And now we all know. And certainly, I understand the position of the select board last night. They say they wanted to deflect it from them and say that there was nothing they could do. It was a zoning thing. That's bullshit. That would be like Tom Lozon saying, you know what, this isn't really a city council thing. You're going to have to go before the DRB or the planning commission with this. Are you kidding me?
So from the municipal side, I can make a comment about that, because I know, I'm sorry.
But at least let them be heard.
The people?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely let people that are complaining. They tried
to make it not be heard. Like, they tried to deflect that. But the community was not having anything to do with that. And it proceeded whether the select board member wanted it to proceed or not. And, I mean, I understand where they're at. I'm sure that they are feeling a lot of pressure as well. The state police are involved. They are investigating. They said they didn't feel there was any current threat. They were going to be available at the school today and tomorrow, and but they cannot do anything. Being MAP isn't a crime. This person would need to commit a crime in order for the state police to get involved. And so far, what has happened is not criminal. Unless they could find out this person's real name and actually find them on the sex offender registry. But they don't know many don't know this person's real name. Although it was stated last night during the Zoom meeting, right around minute 38, his name was exposed. This Mythby, his name was exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah, just disgusting.
Yeah, I wanted to read the comment, or not the comment, but the statement from Twinfield High School.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But, well,
it's
on Facebook.
Oh, and can you get on there?
I'm getting there slowly.
You're trying.
I'm
Michael
very slow.
forgot his password, and I didn't write it in the notes of things to do tonight. I forgot to put his password in there, and now he's struggling terrible.
That's not true. I know all my passwords. Thank you very much. Except for that one, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say this: normalizing that is not okay.
No.
And I can't log into my Facebook.
And try to project it as something other than what it is, and to, there's already a lot of divisiveness surrounding the LGBTQ community and gays. There's already enough divisiveness without this asshat, this scumbag, this pervert saying it's how he identifies. No, you don't get to do that. Sorry. It is what it is. If you want to identify as something, identify as a piece of shit. I don't even know if I would qualify it as something as wonderful as a piece of shit, truthfully. But, he was certainly met with a lot, they were both met with a lot of hate last night, for sure.
Well,
As they should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
can.
A lot of outrage. And I would have been doing the same thing if I was in that community. And quite frankly, it scares me because Plainfield's only, 7 miles away, if that, hop, skip, and a jump. It's not like it's real far. And it was said that this person lives here in Barrie. So,
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
he frequents the campground, but he lives here. And
So,
I hope he keeps his map flag to himself. I've
so
got to
dear
say about
Twinfield
that.
School community, I'm writing to share important information regarding the recent concerns surrounding the Onion River campground that abuts our school's property. We have been in discussions with Vermont State Police and Homeland Security over the past 2 days. We have been told by law enforcement that they do not believe there will be any gathering of people who align with minor attracted people. I don't like that term.
Me
Not
either.
a big
And that's
fan of
what
that
it is.
term.
It's
Map
a term. It's disgusting.
or Onion River campground this weekend. We are committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of our students and staff, and after consultation with local law enforcement, we are confident that we can hold school safely this week. If your family would feel more comfortable with your students not attending school this Thursday or Friday, you may keep them home with absences considered excused. Please call Ella in the front office to communicate if this is your plan. So, and this is where it like starts getting into like, oh wow, this is not a false thing, at least
No.
based on what I'm seeing here.
No.
On Thursday, September 19th, Friday, September 20th, we will have the state police and Homeland Security officers on site. You don't have, if it's a false thing, that doesn't happen.
No.
The state of Vermont, Vermont State Police.
Well, again, we
are not
don't
just
even have
gonna
the
randomly-
resources for that.
Right. They're not just going to show up. So this was a real thing to enhance security measures and to allay fears to the best of their abilities. Students will not be in the woods on Thursday or Friday. When students are outside for recess, they will be closely supervised by staff in open areas. We will also be limiting access to the building for the rest of the week. If you come to pick up your child, staff will meet you at the door. To add another level of security for our students, our cross-country team will not be using the trails this week for their practices. In addition, and this is another right here, that if it was false, Twinfield School will no longer participate in shared activities
With Onion River.
with Onion River Campground. So it certainly doesn't. I mean, that does not lend it to be something that's false.
Not at all.
Because if it were, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just being super
today,
careful.
the apology that she gave today, she said, in her defense, that these flyers in this event were planned at her campground without her knowledge.
Okay.
So your best friend, whom spends a lot of time at the campground with you,
Wait a minute. Didn't the website say that it was okayed by the person? Mm-hmm. The one that was archived? I think it said that the campground person was okay with it.
well, a lot of people say that she would, and even she did, like sometimes it depends on which question you got her in and how many times you could trap her in. If you said something different, the answer that you would get. So
I just, you know what? I'm just gonna rattle some stuff off.
go ahead, please.
So, highly recommend folks go to onein6.org. At least 1 in 6 men have been sexually abused or assaulted. My guess is that majority of the individuals would probably, I'm just going to say 1 in 6 men have been sexually abused, and to normalize that is a little concerning. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere with this. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Can we move on to something else?
Gladly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just, it's gross, and we all know it is, and we all know where we all know it's truth at this point, and there's nothing that she can say to backpedal. There's no defense here, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be time to close business.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell
Shut
it
down.
to somebody else.
Shut it down.
Somebody
So here's another acronym. BITCH. Shut it down, bitch. So let's talk about the events, because there's a lot of stuff coming up.
Yes.
So all kinds of things. Saturday is a poker run and pig roast at the Canadian Club. That starts at 9:30 with kickstands up at 10:30, and the music will be when the ride is complete by foreplay. So that's happening on Saturday. And Sunday there's another ride and poker run, and that's going to start at Wilkins Harley Davidson at 9:30. And that ride, they are going to separate into 4 different teams. Each team will have draws, and the ride will be approximately 2 hours, maybe a little more, and everybody is taking a different route, and they will end up back at the Hungry Bear in Bradford to finish that day. So that's happening. On Saturday, also happening, is the Playground 2000 Battle for the Playground fundraiser. There's going to be a Nerf war with proceeds going to the playground for repairs. And so we all know that we're not going to say the word because last time we got the whole show got removed. So we love you guys, and we're super happy. This Nerf event, we love you guys, and we're super happy that you are willing to donate your time and your equipment and all of that to make sure that this is a super fun day. And you did all of this so that you could raise money for Playground 2000, because there are a lot of necessary repairs. And I know that they've been working hard with Nicholas in the city, Nicholas Dorelli Castro. I finally can say his name. And so that's happening. So go out and enjoy yourself, and have a great time, and have a little Nerf war with the kids. It's for all ages. You should go play.
No.
All right.
Good at that. But they're going to also be at...
they're going to be at another event that is in the upcoming events. We don't want to confuse people yet.
Sorry.
So, and then this Saturday, the most incredible breakfast. You can go to the VFW Post 790 right here on Route 302 from 7 to 11 and enjoy breakfast for $10. And it's a really good breakfast. I mean, pancakes, real maple syrup, sausage, eggs, all kinds of just home fries, bacon, all that stuff. $10, 5 and under are $5. Drink specials are from 9 to 11. And if you want a really kick-ass Bloody Mary, you should go, because they make really kick-ass Bloody Marys, just saying. So that is this Saturday at the VFW from 7 to 11. It's open to all, open to the public, and it's a really, really good breakfast. So you can go out to that. Saturday, also at the Barrie Elks, the Barrie Elks, Barrie Partnership, and Sons of the American Legion Squadron 10 are having a Calcutta. That is $20 with the mimosa bar, and those benefits go to the Veterans 5K. The Calcutta, so the doors open at 11, and the Calcutta starts at noon.
And on Saturday at 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., there's the 4th annual Farm Fall Festival. Is that on your list?
No.
No? Okay. At 3515 Oak Hill Road, Williston, Vermont. That's a little far away. I thought that was Williamstown. Annual Fall Festival at the Isham Farm. Vendors, food trucks, live music, wagons, rides, pumpkins, corn maze, and adorable Jersey calves, Ollie and Corky.
Yeah. And there are, I mean,
I
there
didn't
are all
realize that
kinds.
was a little further away than I
Oh,
thought
that's
it was.
okay. Well, it's
I
probably
thought
why
it
I
said
left it off, because
Williamstown.
I was pretty sure that that's where it was.
I see a mushroom gathering. Do you have the mushroom? Do you get the mushroom gathering
I
one?
posted that one, but I didn't put it in my list.
You didn't put it in your list? Well, there's a mushroom gathering on Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's at Lotus Lake, right?
That is in Williamstown, Route Vermont 14, Williamstown. It says learn the essentials about foraging in a warm setting through community. We will be hosting an open venue, teaching, cooking, sharing. With any luck, there will be a maitake. I'm assuming that's a maitake. Is that a mushroom?
Yes.
It is. Maitake is a mushroom.
Yes.
Maitake. Maitake.
Cool.
I kind of like that word, maitake.
Great.
Maitake. Anyway,
And now you're not
and
gonna stop
other
saying it.
mushrooms on the menu. Vendors, other mushrooms.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're just food mushrooms. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with psychedelics.
wait a minute. I'm sorry. Can you say that again for me?
There's nothing wrong with psychedelics.
Thank you.
They actually use them in microdosing to treat many disorders, anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. Microdosing actually
But-
aids and facilitates in, and you don't do this lifelong. We're talking 3 times, 3 to 4 doses. You are sitting with a licensed person. You get your dose. You work through all your stuff for an hour, and then in another month you do one more, and that's it.
I probably should not have gone down that route talking about collecting mushrooms. And now I
not?
feel kind of bad about this. So it's just collecting mushrooms,
Right.
Which sounds really cool. I'm not going to
It
lie.
is cool.
I do want to go.
To
I want
forage
to be able to
for
forage.
mushrooms.
Have you
and to
been
cook-
foraging?
Yes, I have, and I
I-
foraged for mushrooms before, and I love
I have
mushrooms.
not.
When you fry them up with onions and put them on top of steak, they're even better than they are when you just eat mushrooms.
The only thing I've foraged for is burdock root. That's the only thing I've foraged for.
Yeah, I've never done that before,
No?
but I've certainly,
They taste-
dandelion greens
taste
and
earthy.
Things like that. I've definitely and different sorts of mushrooms and leeks and fiddleheads.
So it's the vendors and all talents are welcome. Informal gathering, 3 p.m. on Teepee Fire and roundtable learning experience with Benjamin about the fundamentals of foraging. Actually, you know what?
You might go to that.
I'm not going to lie. Well, I actually think that we should all learn how to forage given circumstances in our
I've been
society.
trying to get somebody to come on the show, and I've reached out to her numerous times, and I'm really hoping that eventually she'll get back to me. I'm hoping she's just super busy right now, but because we have somebody in the community that is very, very good for it. You just read Glenn's comment.
I
didn't
did
you?
just read.
Big Macs. That's
A
what he
forage
forages.
for Big Macs.
There you
Yes,
go.
I like
Well,
that.
hey, so we all have to have our vices.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I think
So-
it'd be super cool, though. I really do, and I would love to learn more about it.
So that portion of it, the experience with Benjamin about the fundamentals foraging, tree type, geography, blah, 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 and read Forest guaranteed increase your success rate. This portion is at a $35 fee. Overnight camping available. Limit to 12 attendees. Please message in advance.
Map
So-
need not apply.
Yeah. Because you know
Moving
what?
on.
They wouldn't allow them.
No, they would not. That was terrible. So Sunday at the Berry Elks is also the soccer shoot. Registration is at 3 and the shootout begins at 3:30. Free for all. The location of the event is at Farwell Field, and let's see, all Central Vermont children ages 5 to 13. Yeah. free. So
Nice.
my kids both played soccer. They loved soccer. Sort of thing. And then we have some upcoming events. Tuesday, the 24th, you can you have to start signing up right now. But Tuesday, the 24th, is the fall bucket arrangement class at Emsley's. So if you'd like to learn how to make fall arrangements in a bucket, maybe you could do that too, Michael. And bring some of your mushrooms that you find. Call it, or go to Emsley's Facebook page and follow the information to sign up for that. And you can also find the link for it on our page on 802 Scoop. On Saturday, the 28th of this month, is the benefit for James Brown. And we will be there all day, literally all day. And I hope that many come out. I'm praying that many come out and we get to see a ton of people. It starts at 2 o'clock. We're going to go straight through till 7. The Den does have a band that night that also starts at 9. Some of us, I'm sure, won't be too pooped out yet, and we might hang out longer than 7. You never know, because once you buy a bracelet, you're in for the whole day. There's live music, there's a DJ as well, and there's a couple of different DJs actually. One outside, one inside. Emil Goslin's coming. We'll do some line dancing. The same Nerf war is going to happen in the. And I apologize, you guys, that I'm not saying your name out loud, but we want the whole show to stay up. So, and we may have already screwed that up at the beginning of the show when I was being a jerk. So, we won't. We got to make sure that we don't,
Continue.
totally get rid of it.
Do
so
not continue in sin.
right. So, but we do tag them, and then there's cornhole, giant Jenga, Connect 4, pool. There's going to be a silent auction, door prizes, 50/50 raffle. Some of the prizes we have are absolutely incredible, and this is all to benefit my friend, and I consider them family. I really do. But James Brown, who we all know, or most know, a couple of years ago he needed a kidney. He got the kidney. Things didn't go well for a little more than a year. The first year was bad. He was in the hospital a lot. Was starting to feel good. Had 5 really great months with his wife and his 2 boys. And July 26th had a really bad stroke and remains in the hospital. And it'll be a long time through rehab and stuff before he can come home. So that benefit on the 28th, I hope to see all of you there. And right, Glenn and Kate, Clayton and Linda and everybody, I hope I see all of you. I'm really do. But $25 gets you in for the whole day, cotton candy for the kids, the whole 9. So, and then the Veterans Place Calcutta is coming up as well on the 19th of October, and that is going to be at Gusto's. I'll be at that. That is to benefit the Veterans Place in Northfield. And super excited and happy to be a part of that. Last year, I did just the interviews and the the hype, the advertising for it. I got to do that for them last year, and this year I'm a little more involved in it than that, and I'm very proud to be. That place is very near and dear to my heart. And then on the 27th, there's a glow party at the Den. Do you know what a glow party is? Okay. So,
is that for pregnant women?
No, it's not for pregnant women. You can get, you paint yourself up with glow-in-the-dark paint.
Oh.
And it's all black
like
lights and music. And
so like a rave?
Well, I guess it's kind of like, it's a Cheech and Chong event. Kind of like, I don't know.
Rave?
But music, there will be music by DJ LaFontaine that night. Doors open at 8. But they paint you with these psychedelic paints, and it's all black lights and dancing and all that good stuff. And keep your clothes on. That's all I'm saying, though. You got to keep your clothes on. It's not that kind of a glow party.
Isn't that another term for a, No, that's below. Never mind.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh,
with
he's over
that-
here sniffing. I'm like, what the frig is he talking about, you know? So that's the wrap. And as we wrap, though, there are many events, other events on the page. We'll be sharing more. We'll share more tomorrow, of course, because it's Friday. So we'll want to make sure you get those up. Veggie Van Go is also coming right around the corner. Next Friday, actually, is Veggie Van Go. So want to make sure that you get to that. And before we go, can you give the numbers for Tuesday's election?
Oh,
Do you have those handy?
I can. I kind of do. While I'm looking that up, though, what I can tell folks is that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. At the Faith Community Church, they're
Oh,
going.
it's movie night.
Yeah, movie night in support of Central Vermont Pregnancy Center.
Yeah, and the movie is free, but they do accept donations, and they would love to see you all. And I think the movie is Unsung Heroes.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yes, that was on my list, and I didn't read it.
Oh, what in the world?
I know. So thank you.
And for obviously folks probably know by now, the budget did pass. It passed in Barrie Town, 1,031 to 909. And in Barrie City, it passed 771 to 412. So, and I've said it multiple times. I understand. I don't believe that people voting no were defunding education, or they're just feeling tapped out. They're feeling tapped out. And when you feel tapped out, you say no on the things that you're able to say no on.
That's right. That's right.
But it did pass. So I am thankful that it did. But other than that,
Now we can move forward and with the upcoming election and get you elected.
Yes.
And get
Yes.
A few others that, I have a list, and I will frequently tell you what my list is, and because I don't care. And but of course you're top on the list.
Oh.
We have to vote for Michael Boutin for sure. But we need some changes in there. We need some big time changes, and we know that there are people that have been in there for a little bit, even if only a couple of years. In a couple of years, there's been a lot of damage done, and we need to really make some changes. So
I can promise you this. Michael is a no vote on the clean heat standard. Not
and
adding
Michael
$4.
is a yes vote for long-term rehabilitation.
Yes, I am.
And sober living, and he's a real hard no on safe injection sites.
Yes, I am.
And he wants to really work on the formulas that figure out our school funding and budget and all that great stuff.
Just need to be more understandable. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. We went a little late tonight, but
It was
it's
only
all
a little
good.
bit. That's
It's
all
only
right.
a little bit. Not too bad.
So they're still hanging with us, so it must be they're not that
Can't
sad.
be too rough. Can't be too
Yeah.
rough. All right.
So-
Well, you have a lovely evening, everyone, and thank you for
And please
watching.
tune in tomorrow at noon. I'll be here on 802 Scoop with a special guest, Dottie Moffat, for It's No Secret.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.